Yo, this is Marvin Priest and this is One for the Road. You done know.
Yo, this is Baby Blackson. This is another one for the road. Let's go, man. Dwee. What it do, y'all? It's your boy Legend, and you are listening to another One for the Road, alright? Let's get it.
I like this guy, man.
That's what they call him, Tibbs. I blame it on my heritage.
Oh, man. Where you from, bro?
Mom's from Guyana.
Okay.
You know Guyana?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the Caribbean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Portuguese, Guyanese,
Okay.
Aussie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
But here we have another One for the Road. And, you know, I just feel like we should be playing all sorts of music for this podcast because we've got someone here that I can't even describe his sound. It's just like, I mean, if I was to describe it, it'd be energetic, jumping, turning up all the way to the max. It's called Afro Dance. And I haven't actually heard of Afro Dance before. But when I played the latest project, King of Afro Dance, I realized that I'm here with someone very special. And today we have A-Star. We have the man in the flesh, man. So big up to you, man. Appreciate you coming down all the way to Melbourne City.
Yes, thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it. I'm happy to be here.
Yo, thanks, man. And yeah, special shout out to DJ Friday for
DJ Friday in the house.
Yeah.
Come alive.
We're definitely feeling alive. We're feeling alive at the moment. So
nice.
It's good that you could bless our city with your sounds, man.
Amazing. I'm happy that I could bless you guys today as well, since it's a special day. We're celebrating today, right? Tell them we're celebrating today, bro.
Yeah, man. We hit the milestone, man.
We just had a toast. We just had a toast before we started recording, for the 1 million subscribers, right?
Yeah, man. It's a big achievement, man.
So you got A-Star as a blessing for your 1 million subscribers. You see how God works?
Yeah, God is great, man. I've been praying, bro.
That's dope.
Yeah, so no, I appreciate it. Yeah,
congrats though, man.
1 million subscribers for you guys out there. We just hit on YouTube, which in Australia, man, like it's not really a thing.
Yeah.
I think, you know, you're from the UK, right?
Yeah.
There's the Grime Dailies, Link Ups, SBTV.
Yeah. There's loads of media channels in the UK.
Yeah.
It's not like that over here in terms of like urban music or.
I mean, we have a smaller population.
Yeah.
And with that, less infrastructure.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing. But yeah, definitely it's a different kind of. You probably you've been to Australia before, right?
Yeah, I've been in 2019, but this time I feel like it's definitely coming alive more though. Like you guys are way more in tune with the music that's happening like around the world more than you guys were when I came in 2019. So yeah, I don't know if that's just because the music scene around the world is just growing at the same time as well, or if it's just because Australia is just catching on. I don't know. Maybe it's a bit of both.
Yeah, I think the world's becoming, you know, more connected. And I think the world is, you know, there's a lot going on as we all see.
Yeah.
And it's like people gravitate towards like a positive artist like yourself.
Yeah.
Someone that can get the party started.
Yeah.
Get the vibes right.
Yeah.
You know, the dancing is huge.
Yeah.
We have so many dancers here in Australia.
Yeah, true.
And I think that just in combination, you know, sets the fire alight, man.
100%.
You know, so you're coming from you were born in the UK, right?
Yeah, born and raised in London, in the UK.
London.
Yeah.
They say things about people from London. Is it
what
true?
What do they say?
Well, our producer, Ollie, Culture Sound, man, he's from London, and he says...
Where in London is he from? Do you know?
Oh, the part of London. Yeah, no, I got to...
Because depending on what side of London he's from, then I would understand what you're saying.
Right. Which part are you from?
I'm from South London.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, from South London. So I grew up in Aylesbury Estate, which is in southeast London. If you don't know where Aylesbury Estate is, it's like Woolworth Road, Elephant and Castle, Camberwell, Peckham, was all around the same area.
And is it the pretty side or is it the gritty side?
It's not really pretty. It's more gritty. Yeah, it's the hood. So,
right.
Yeah, I grew up in the hood.
Grew up with your family there?
You see like Top Boy, right?
Yeah.
You know when you watch Top Boy, you see the estates that they film in Top Boy. That's where I grew up. So like when I was a teenager, when they first started filming the first season of Top Boy, they were literally filming it outside of my house. So I look outside my window and I'll see them filming in my estate. So that's where I grew up. Yeah, in that estate.
Right. How old were you when they were filming that?
I must have been like maybe like 17, 18 when they first started filming the season 1 before the Netflix Top Boy, before Drake came along, and it was just like a UK, series, strictly UK series, and it was on, I think it was on BBC those days, or one of the British channels. But yeah, probably around 17, 18 those days.
And how representative was Top Boy to your real, like your circumstances? Can you talk to me a bit about, what it was like growing up in Amesbury?
It's quite similar, but of course, because it's a TV show, so they exaggerate it a little bit to make it more entertaining for the watchers and to make it more relatable to people worldwide that are watching the series too. But there's some like obviously like the way they talk, the culture and the way they dress, and the faces that you also see in the series are like musicians that I always saw growing up on TV and stuff that everyone knows in the UK. So there's familiarity there. But just, some of the storylines are a bit, exaggerated. But I understand it's for entertainment. It's not supposed to be real. So
were you exposed to that kind of thing? The street life? I mean, I guess if you're growing up around there, you're gonna
I grew up around it. So it was something I saw all the time and heard about all the time, and even going to school, like going to secondary school in London, well, in my part of London, South London, there would be like secondary school beefs. So like when you get to a certain age, like maybe like 15, 16 in secondary school, you're automatically in beef with the other school that's like 5 minutes down the road. So every day after school, like that school's coming down to your school to come fight, or we going over there to go and fight. It's automatic. It's just something that you're kind of like born into. So yeah, you see these things and you experience these things growing up in the hood, but it's just up to you if you want to make that your life or not. You have choices. It's not by force. You don't have to be part of that life. It's in your face, but there's ways around it and there's ways to get out of it, and there's options. So it's not as harsh as how you see it in America. There's options in the UK.
People say that, the UK is full on, man.
It's full on, but I feel like we definitely have options, like you don't have to.
Yeah, I like
that life.
Yeah, I like to think that as well, because I work with the kids out in the west side. The west and the east side are a little bit different in Australia, in Melbourne.
Yeah,
the east side's a little bit, it's more protected and more established in a sense. The west is like a lot of factories and urban, a lot of new houses, but then there's a lot of kids out there just running amok, and there's some issues. And I work with the kids out there in the studio, and I see them looking at the world, and they sort of see the world as like can be a bad place.
Yeah,
and but I also think they've got options, but maybe less.
Yeah, maybe less than like if you weren't growing up in the hood, if you was growing up in the suburbs or something.
Yeah,
but you still have options. Everybody has options. My option was music. That was my way out. So everyone has an option. It's just about whether you're willing to find that option and pursue that option, or whether you're just willing to be like, okay, this is my circumstance and I'm just going to stay in this. I'm a product of my environment. It's kind of up to you, So
yeah, what made you choose, option A opposed to option B? Like what made you, did you have a supportive family that could, keep you out of the street? Because I think some people maybe have the idea of like, I've got to trap or I've got to do something because they're like broke poor.
Yeah.
How did you make your option, and how did you make it work?
To be honest, I was a little bit fortunate because I'm the youngest of 6, and I had 3 older brothers who were known in the area, and like they protected me growing up. So I mean, I wasn't peer pressured into like having to join a gang for protection or having to do certain things to prove a point to people, because I just had my older brothers around, so no one would really bother me anyway. So I was free to then like pursue my options and not be bothered by anybody, because I knew everybody, and even if I didn't, they would know that, okay, that's this person's younger brother, and they would just leave me alone. So maybe I was fortunate in that circumstance. Maybe it's not like that for everyone, to be honest with you. But,
no, yeah, I don't think. Yeah, no, yeah. I mean,
not everyone has older brothers, you know. So some people have to be the older brother.
Yeah, and they do have older brothers, but older brothers can sometimes be broken and see their younger brother as an asset to the gang or whatever.
Exactly.
Move like that. So yeah, blessings to your brothers, man. Shout out,
my
man.
older brothers were very protective and they kept me off the streets and supported me with my music.
All right, cool.
More than anything. So yeah,
word, man.
Shout out to them.
Yeah. So then you okay, so you got that foundation growing up as a teenager in South London. How did you first get into music? Where did you first get, I want to find the point where you first like either walked into a studio by accident or you were rapping on the street or you would what was that first initial exposure to music that set you off to say, you know what? I am an artist or I have potential for that.
So I started off as a rapper. I used to do UK hip hop and I used to do UK grime, more gangster rap than anything else. And how did that come about? That came about because my older brothers, like I was just mentioning, that's all they used to listen to, like hip hop, like American hip hop and UK hip hop. And I was the youngest, so I always grew up like wanting to impress my older brothers. So when I started to notice that that's who they looked up to, like rappers, I was like, I want to be a rapper myself. So I started like writing lyrics in my school book at home and just like rapping to myself. And then when I would go to school, my friends would be doing the same thing. And then we just formed a little group in school. And every time we would have break, we would just like meet up and then like we put on an instrumental and everyone would start freestyling. And then after that, like as we got older, after school, me and my friends would just go to each other's houses. And like we had these like old school Windows laptops and...
Which Windows was it?
I don't know. That must have been like 2005 or something like that.
That's not too bad. Mine with the 98s, man.
I'm not that old.
I'm trying to work it out.
That must have been like 2005.
Yeah, you're youngin', bro. Yeah.
Yeah, we just find these softwares, these music softwares, and we just find like a grime beat or like a American hip hop beat, and we just record over it with these like, the webcam mics with horrible quality. And then we would just like, I record an 8-bar.
Bad.
Then my other friend will record an 8-bar. Then my other friend will record an 8-bar. And then there'll be like 6 of us on the track. And then we'll all record our 8 bars and then the song's done and we put on our phones and then we play it at school. That's how it started really. And then from doing that, we started to get popular like around the area and I started to meet, other people that were doing the same thing from other areas. And then they would invite me to the studio and then I'll go to the studio. Well, that would be the first time I went to the studio, like a proper studio. Started recording with them and then I started to get popular locally as a rapper.
How long was that, like, for that transition from, recording on the webcam to, the studio to becoming popular? Like how?
Recording on a webcam was probably when I was like 13, 14. First time I went to the studio, I was probably about 15.
Mm-hmm.
And then, 15, 16.
Were your brothers knowing like where you were at the studio and they kind of knew who it was? Cause
it was all local. The studio I was going to was like literally 10 minutes from my house.
Was it like like an independent studio? Was it like a school, like
it was
a
an
program?
Independent studio. It was the same studio that Gigs used to record at. You know Gigs, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so like I used to go to the studio and bump into Gigs every day, like literally, like the same studio he was recording at. It's called Unit 10 Studios. So that's the studio I started going to go and record. So I used to go with a few local rappers to go and record music with them, and then I started building a relationship with the engineer, and I started going myself to record my own music. So when I got to 16, I started to work on my first mixtape, which was called Superstar, and I released that when I was around 17. I had a few like local rappers on there. Gigs was on there. Had a few other local rappers that were huge at the time on there. It was just like a straight UK gangster hip hop mixtape.
What were you rapping about?
The harsh realities.
Yeah. You're a messenger almost,
Yeah, I was just talking about what I was seeing, like not even what I was experiencing, but mostly what I was seeing. Like
what was that? What were you seeing?
Like as a kid looking out the window, kind of like vibe.
What were you seeing?
Just like gang culture and, like stabbings and shootings and fights and just, like the typical hood stuff, like drug addicts and things along those lines. So that was mostly what I was speaking about on that mixtape, but it was more from a perspective like, this is what I'm seeing growing up in a hood as to this is what I'm doing, if that makes sense.
Did you feel like the music was like a way to kind of get out your emotions? In a sense, like
it must have been. But I didn't think about it like that at the time. I was just talking about all I knew about, and I guess that was all I knew about. That's why it was coming out in that way. It wasn't something that was thought about. Just talking about anything, like whatever comes to my mind, and that was what was in my mind at the time. So
word. No, it's good to know because the kids I work with, just bringing it back to that, like they can either kind of act it out or they can make art out of it.
Exactly. You have options, bro.
Yeah.
Everybody has options.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Word. So. Yeah, you're doing your thing in the studio. How was your relationship with the engineer? Like, did he see something in you and want to continue working with you, or did you jump around with different engineers?
No, I mostly was working with him for the rest of my hip hop days.
Yeah,
and he was mad cool, man. He was like how do I explain him? He was like the glue. He was like the glue that was bringing everybody, like, growing up that wanted to rap and make music. Like, he was making people's dreams come true just by having that studio. Because back in those days, like, getting access to a studio and being able to know an engineer and pay for studio time and go and record a song and then come home and listen to it the same day was like a privilege. Like, we never had that access growing up. So he gave most of the people in the hood, like where I grew up, an opportunity to do that. So I would say he was the glue, man. And he was one of the main reasons why, also Giggs became who he became as well. And so many other rappers locally became who they became from those days to now. So
yeah, you need those people that kind of just facilitate, young people's dreams, man.
Yeah, like we didn't know anyone that knew how to engineer and record music on Cubase and produce. We didn't really know anyone like that growing up. So it was a privilege to
Cubase is complicated. Like yeah. You need like a real technician.
It was Cubase those days.
Yeah, word. All right, cool. Nah, it's good, man. Good to hear, like, a little bit of background about how you kind of got into music, and got and had that kind of journey, what I mean? Because you could go in any direction and go, as you said, the streets was there. You could just become a bookworm, and just get into studies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you found your calling, obviously.
Yeah.
Got a superstar in the building, man. And you already knew you were a superstar. How did you know? How did you know like that was your thing, man? How did you you called your first mixtape Superstar? Like
I don't know, because I was already called A Star from those days. I already named myself A Star from when I was like 13, 14. But A Star stands for Aylesbury Star.
Aylesbury, yeah.
And Aylesbury's the estate that I grew up in. So Aylesbury Star, and I just made it short, A Star.
Yeah,
that's what I called myself when I decided to first start making music. So Superstar was like a kind of abbreviation because I spelled it like SUPASTAR. So Superstars. And
with the A Star. Yeah.
A Star.
Yeah, Super A Star. Oh, yeah, word. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's it, man. I mean, people like think of people who, want to be famous or like, which is not you, but like people who want to be a superstar, let's say.
Yeah.
And they're like, I want to be a superstar. I want to be a big celebrity and stuff. They don't necessarily have like a reason for that. It's like you've got a sort of story and a real meaning behind it. Did you feel like you wanted to become a superstar in itself for any reason? Like, was it to share your music? Was it to express yourself? Did you feel like a calling that you needed to?
At that time?
Yeah. Or were you just on some young man thing?
No, it was just like, I tried a lot of things when I was young around that age. Like, I tried playing sports. I was trash at football. I tried like so much different things, and music was the only thing that I did. Like, and people would be like, yo, that's dope. Like, you're really good. Like, you should like keep doing your thing. Like, that was the only thing I did that I got that type of love for. So it made me feel like, okay, this must be something I'm good at. Let me just keep doing this, because when I do this, it makes people happy. Like, people get excited. Like, when I used to go in a booth and record a verse and come out of the booth, everyone would be like, yo, that was crazy. And that was the only thing that I was doing at the time that I was getting that feeling about. So I was like, this could work for me. Let me just keep doing this and see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The feedback was good. So he knew that your music was
always
good.
Always good. So I knew I was good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always good. It's always, you know, you need to know to have the feedback.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
People need to tell you that you're good. Some people's friends don't be telling them. But maybe because they're not good.
Yeah, Rema said on our first interview when we had Friday here, man, he said, don't fight it, man. Don't fight it. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you got it, don't fight. Don't fight back on talent, you know?
Yeah, trust me, man. But yeah, like, people always used to tell me I was good. I never got, like, the feedback was always good. So I just knew that this was something that I'm talented at without even trying.
All right, so boom, you finished school, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. And then
We're doing the whole life story.
Let's go. We'll go, yeah.
People need to know, you know.
Yeah,
you're getting an exclusive right now. People don't really know this side of me. They just know the Afrobeat side of me, but they don't know I've come from.
I didn't even,
I'm a rapper.
Yeah.
I'm a rapper first.
Rapping with gigs in the studio, bro.
Yeah, literally. Like, when I was 16, I was in a studio with gigs making music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you finished up in there in London, and then what happened? What got you to that next level? I mean, you were probably you were in the studio making tunes. You made your first mixtape, Superstar. How was that received? Like, did you put that out to be sold?
That was received amazingly, because those days we would make copies, like CD copies, right?
Yeah.
So, like, every week I remember I would go to this CD store with my brother, and we would burn like 200 CDs every week of the mixtape, like with the artwork and stuff. And then there used to be this guy that he used to go on the streets in West End, which is like the city, Oxford Circus in London. And he would go and sell these mixtapes to people walking on the streets, £2, £2. And we used to give him 200 CDs every week. You sell 200 CDs for £2 each. And at the end of every week, you come bring me my cash and I'll give him another 200. He'd be selling them. So the mixtape, I probably sold like 1,000 copies, to be honest with you. And that's crazy, because, like, I'm 16, 17, and
that's enough to get you by.
I'm not even doing it for money. I'm just doing it because this is what I love to do, and people were just buying it. So,
but that would have given you
I was
financial
grateful for that.
Yeah.
That what I'm saying?
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, that would have given you some financial freedom to go, okay, I've got a job.
Yeah, not even that. I didn't even see it like I had a job, but it just gave me more. Like, I had money to go to the studio and make more music, and to shoot music videos, and, you know, to buy some clothes and look nice in the music videos.
Word, man. Yeah. So when did you shoot your first music video? And we're like,
probably when I was like 17.
Yeah.
It's still on YouTube somewhere, but I'm never gonna show it to anybody.
Oh, later you can show me, bro. We got some tunes out there, man.
I'm never gonna show it to anybody.
How's the song? The song was alright?
Yeah, it was like a UK hip hop freestyle, just rapping for like 3 minutes with no chorus.
Did you like the song? Like the track you made?
Did I like it now? Did I like it then? I loved it then, but now looking back on it, it's got some. It's still a moment.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't say it was trash, but, you know, we've leveled up now, you know.
Yeah. Big time, man.
Yeah,
big time. Up. Yeah. Okay, you know, because there's a struggle, bro, with like artists, you know, getting music videos done. It doesn't work. It doesn't come out, or it doesn't look right.
Yeah, it's not easy.
What advice could you give, man, like with artists coming up, you know, that, man, they spend money on music videos, they get them shot. Like, just touch on that a little bit if you could.
Me, till this day, I've never really been the artist that spends a huge budget on a music video. I think, like, you just have to work to your standard, if that makes sense. So if you're an artist that has a big budget and you know that you have money to spend on a music video, and you know that when you do spend this money on a music video and you release it, you're gonna profit off of that. You're gonna make that money back and more. Then go ahead. But like, if you're not really making the type of music, or if you're not the type of artist that, I don't know, has fans that, you know, invest in watching your music videos like that, and, you know, are gonna get your music videos to reach the millions and the millions and the millions, then there's no point in spending like 20,000 on a music video and just being in minus just to look good. Because at the end of the day, the most important thing, I feel like, is the music.
100%.
You know, that's what everyone wants to listen to over and over again. I don't know about you, but like these days when I watch music videos, I watch it once and then I don't really go back to it, you know. But it does help with the music. It helps bring the music to life more, of course. But I don't watch it again after the first or second time. I don't go back to watch it. I just listen to the songs again.
Unless it's an amazing track, yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? I'd rather go on Spotify than go on YouTube. Because the quality of the music is better on Spotify than on YouTube. And when I'm listening to music, I listen to music of a high quality. I like to listen to music of a high quality. So I'd rather I'll see the video and I'll be like, this is a dope song. Then I'll go listen to the song forever on Spotify, if that makes sense.
That's what it is. It's like the music video is like a promotion for the song.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And to also like let people know who you are. This is me. This is my face. Yeah. This is my lifestyle. This is how I dress. These are my people around me. So it makes sense, but that doesn't necessarily mean you have to spend 20K, 40K to present that. There's other creative ways that you can present that without spending that amount of money, you know, like even with me, like with the music I make Afro dance. So my music is all about dance. So I just focus on the dancers. Sometimes I fly to Paris and go and work with some dancers, shoot content with them, and I just appear in a video, perform a few scenes and just show the dance culture. And I travel around the world and I do that in different, I was literally doing that earlier on today before I came here. I was shooting in Docklands with a few dancers. I was shooting a little clip.
Oh yeah, word. That would be crazy to see, man. Who are the dancers?
Daphne, you know Daphne?
Word. Yeah, Daphne. Yeah, Daphne man. Yeah, Mad Girl Daphne. Yeah, cool. Yeah, hey man, that's crazy, man.
You know the Melbourne Afro dance crew?
Yeah.
All of them.
Yep.
I'm supposed to even be with them right now, but I don't think I'm gonna make it. They do like this Wednesday jam session every evening.
Probably, They'll wait for you, man. It's A-Star in the building, man. Come on, it's one for the road, man. Let's go, bro. Straight up.
But yeah, I literally like just move around the world and just work with dancers and just vibe, shoot content, have fun.
Yeah.
And
it's changed. It changed a little bit now, isn't it? It's like it's not really like the 20K thing, like the big budget. It's like do a little video, because on TikTok that might be the thing that brings the streams in. You know what I mean?
Exactly. But for me, that works for me, for my music. But I'm in a lane of my own, so I don't know. If I was making another type of music, I might need to have that 20K budget for a music video. But I just feel like when you're up and coming and you don't have the budget, you don't need to force that. You just need to live within your means and show people the life that you're living at the moment, because that's real and that's authentic and people can see that, you know, like if you're trying to put up a lifestyle that you're not really living, people can also see that too. So just be yourself and just show people like the life that you're living at the moment.
That's
because
facts,
you're always going to level up and there's always going to be a time when you can then upgrade to that level of visuals. So yeah, just like go with the flow, man. There's no pressure as a new artist. There shouldn't be any pressure.
Yeah, I appreciate the knowledge, man. Because we're always in a bit of a battle here. Like, you know, obviously directors want budgets, you know, artists want to look good.
Yeah,
but then
directors are killing it these days, man. The prices are crazy, to be honest with you. Yeah. You're a director yourself, so you know.
Bro, half the videos are done for free.
Really?
Come on. I've done hundreds of videos. Yeah, but I mean, I know that it's like, I love the song. I'm like, this is a mad tune.
Yeah, you feel like you're part of it as well, kind of thing, yeah.
But then I'm like, how am I going to pay my bills? Type vibe. So it's a bit of it's just good to know personally, and for the video directors out there, and also just for our scene, because our scene's still developing. So this knowledge, man, will actually really impact and speed up the process and getting us on the right level.
Yeah.
You talked about, you know, pressure, man. I don't want, like, you know, we're building up, man, to this moment here, but I think, you know, there's definitely pressure along the way. Have you felt pressure. How do you deal with pressure before you go and perform, or before you go and do a music video? Like, how do you get in the zone, man? Are there things that you do to?
Before a performance, I just say a prayer, and as soon as I hear the music, I just transform into another human being. Before that, I get the nerves though, like any normal person would. And then as soon as I hear my music, I'm like, rah, like that's me, that's my music. Like, this is powerful. Then I don't know if it's a spiritual thing, but I just don't feel any more nerves, and I just come alive. So yeah, I would say by praying, I prepare myself. Maybe sip a little bit of Henny too.
Yeah. You're running out, man.
Something.
I feel you, man. All right, so man, you've been all over the world. Hey, what's that been like, man? What's it been like? Because not everyone gets to travel all over the world, let alone be paid to travel the world.
It's amazing. It's the best feeling in the world, and it's my favorite part of this job. And I feel like the other day I was actually thinking, like, what if my job isn't a musician, is actually traveling the world and just meeting new people and learning different cultures and seeing new things, but music was just a way to do that. Does that make sense?
Isn't that what you do?
Yeah, that's what I do, but I'm saying, what if I wasn't a musician? What if I'm not a musician? I'm just a life traveler, and music is just the way for me to become a life traveler.
It's a good experience, man.
I actually thinking about that the other day, because I really enjoyed traveling and
putting on soundtracks when you're in the plane, when you're in the terminal.
The whole process, I just love it. Like landing and then like coming out of the airport and then like the drive to your hotel.
Different cars on the street, like different people,
different languages, different cultures.
Different smell in the air.
You pick up so much little things, and that's what keeps me going. That's what inspires me and keeps me making more music. Just that simple thing, so I feel like that's something that I value more than even me being a musician. Like I really value the opportunity of traveling the world and learning different cultures, because that's what makes us who we are at the end of the day. Like, you can be stuck in, I don't know, this part of Melbourne and never travel the world, and then you just think the whole world is based on where you are. But once you start traveling the world, you start to realize, wow, like the perspective that you have is only based on this place that you're living. Because when you go to other places around the world, you realize, oh, people think like this, people live like this, people dress like this, people speak like this. And those things that you value the most from where you're from, it's not the same in another country, So you just start to learn how different people live. And then it makes you a bigger and a better and a more knowledgeable person, And also about yourself too. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to travel, man.
I always tell the kids, I say, spending money on travel is never a waste.
Never.
Especially when you're young.
Yeah.
When you're getting on and you got to settle down a bit, because I mean, I'm so happy that I've traveled, that I go, you know what, if I don't travel for 5 years, someone like you would be like, oh, I'm feeling stuck, but because you always travel. But I'm like, I'm good. I've seen a lot of the world.
You know what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and and I'm like, I'm cool to kind of raise my daughter. You know what I mean?
That's cool though. Yeah, you've traveled, so like, as long as you've traveled, you know the feeling. But it's important to know that feeling.
Yeah.
So if you haven't traveled, get out there, man. Get out there. It doesn't cost much. Probably costs like, the same amount of money you spend on some trainers and some clothes. But you're gonna learn a lot more. You're gonna create some memories that's gonna last forever.
Yeah, it teaches you how to kind of be nimble, like work things out on the fly sometimes.
Yeah.
Because during the early years of your career, were you, obviously, well, I'm assuming you weren't, where you are now, where you've, everything's set up. You've got tour managers, you've got promoters ushering you around. You've got. It's all. Before, was it kind of like you kind of had to be on the road and kind of grind?
It was nothing, bro. It was just like you make music and then you just pour it out and just hope someone listens to it.
Yeah,
that's all that there was. It wasn't a job. It was just like a hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And were you traveling? Did you decide to travel around Europe? Was it?
I wasn't traveling those days.
No.
I only started traveling probably my early 20s. Started traveling. But like traveling because of music, probably like mid-20s and upwards when I first started doing that. So it took a while.
Are you still? How long have you been traveling for in this stint? Like now, like are you just hitting up like cities and then coming back home, or you just kind of bouncing around a bit?
I'm in and out, man. Like the shows just come randomly, and a lot of them are short notice. So like throughout the years, I'm like one week I'm in London, then the next week I'm here. And the next week I'm back in London, the next week I'm here. It just in and out. But I'm not complaining. I'm enjoying myself.
No, as you should, man. As you should. Where's your audience at, man? Like generally speaking, I mean, your music. You know, getting onto your music, man. Like I was saying before, as I said the introduction, it's like a combination of a few things. You know. And now learning that you're a rapper, kind of understand the grime rapper and understanding. You know, now it's Afro. It's Afrobeat, but it's like.
Yeah,
it's kind of a fusion.
Its own,
Afro dance, man. Tell me about that, man. Like like that's so like interesting to know about, man. How did you find that sound, and how did it evolve to where it is now?
So I began like the whole reason why I got into Afrobeats from making hip hop was because after those times I was telling you about when I released my first mixtape and stuff.
Yeah,
Afrobeat started like blowing up in London and the UK around 2010, 2011. We started to get the first buzz of Afrobeats, like the Azonto days and
2017, right? Around then, 2017, Azonto days.
This is like 2011.
Oh man, well in Australia that was the Azonto was.
Well, you guys caught on 6 years later. I
should have did a video called Azonto Party in 2017. So
no, this is like in London. It started blowing up around 2011, and then I knew some local Ghanaian friends, family friends that wanted to make music too, and like I was popular in the area at the time, so they're like, yeah, like we have this Ghanaian beat, like let's just go to the studio and hop on it and just like make a tune out of it. So we all went together to the studio, made the song, we released it, and we shot a music video the next week, and it blew up in the whole of UK. It went crazy.
That's your biggest tune.
It was one of like the first UK Afrobeat hits, like literally, like so.
UK
like,
Afrobeat.
We were like one of the pioneers for UK Afrobeat music, like those days. That was like 2011. That was my first like try with Afrobeats, and we did get a huge success from that. And I started to tour a little bit. I went to Germany for a show and a few other places in Europe. And that kind of gave me a first insight into Afrobeats. It took me a while after that to actually finally start doing Afrobeats, because I would say I probably first started doing Afrobeats like fully 2016, 17. So after that, it took me a few years, and then I went to university, studied music production, graduated in that. And then within that 3-year period, I took a break from releasing music. So as soon as I graduated from
you made the hit record, and then you took a break.
I went to uni, I went to uni for 3 years. And then after that is when I started to 100% focus on Afrobeats. And that's what's led me up to this point.
That doesn't, I don't know, like how does that play out, bro? Like you decided to go back to uni once you became like superstar. I mean, you're talking about like Coupe, like 40 million views, whatever. Like, was that?
Yeah.
That's the tune?
This was before Coupe, though. This is when I went to uni. This was before Coupe.
Right.
I went to uni around 2013.
Yeah.
2012, 2013.
All right,
Coupe is 2018.
Yeah. Word.
So when I graduated from uni and I started to go full into Afrobeats and focus on my own sound, that's when Coupe came alive. And the others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pour up a drink, bro. No. Oh, cool. Yeah, man.
You want to sip something?
Yeah, man.
Come alive, bro.
All right, word on. Yo, another one for the road, man. We got a superstar in the building, man. It's a celebration. You understand me?
Come alive, bro.
Yo, big up, my G.
Yeah, you're giving me the eye. I was thinking, why are you giving me that? You want to sip something, bro? Just say you want to sip something.
Yeah. Nah, we're getting into the superstar type, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I gotta turn up for that, man. Cause yeah, man, your music, man. And honestly, like it's, you know, I've DJed for 10 years, man, and it's like I know when there's good tunes, man. Like I
Yeah.
feel the beats, you know.
Yeah.
And I think like there's something magical that happens in the studio that not everyone can do and repeat it.
Yeah.
Like your latest project, man, The King of Afro Dance, I feel like you've experimented a lot, but there's still this kind of undertone of like super hits.
Yeah.
That's like, you know, when you DJ, right? A real DJ is supposed to kind of like play tunes that everyone knows, right?
Yeah.
And everyone's get going, they're drinking, they're having fun. But then they're supposed to also play like tunes that they know is dope.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
crowd
But the
don't-
crowd don't know, but they're putting them on. Yeah.
I feel like your recent project is like almost like that.
Yeah. 100%. I'm glad you feel like that because, I mean, that's how I feel too. And that's how I want people to feel when they hear it. You know, I don't want them to feel like it's something they've heard before. I want them to feel like it's something that's new, you know, like inspired by other sounds, but a new sound in its own, you know?
What kind of, yeah, man, because you've got like different sounds and different features as well.
Yeah, exactly. So like if you listen to the EP, like everything is on there. Like I make dance music.
Yeah.
I make African dance music.
Mm.
So any type of African music that can make you dance, I'm inspired by. So on the EP, you have Afro House, you have Afrobeats, you have Amapiano, you have Kuduro, the Portuguese sound. Like there's just so much happening on the EP, you know? And the most important thing is gonna make you dance, is African dance music. So that's what Afro dance is. Literally that all of those genres together with a spike of my own sound.
Yeah,
I have my own production team.
There's
So
something in there.
I have my own production team, my own producers that I work with on every single song. So there's always gonna be that, you know, extra like difference that you're not gonna hear anywhere else because these are my producers, is my production team. So you're always gonna hear that sound that we have. But, you know,
How involved?
apart from that, these are the other genres that
Yeah,
Afro dance
you can
is
definitely hear
part
it,
of. Yeah.
but it's not super strong. It's kind of infused in a
Yeah,
way where
yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
oh yeah, there's a bit of the Amapiano,
Yeah.
Afrobeat,
Yeah.
and then you've got this
Yeah.
Afro dance kind of thing.
And then you have me, because I feel like my style as an Afrobeat artist is not the typical, because I'm a rapper. So if
yeah,
you
your
listen
first
to-
song is like the first tune. You're just like
exactly. You get what I'm saying? So
just telling
yeah.
them.
So if you listen to my music, I'm rapping. I'm not singing. And most Afrobeat music, if you haven't noticed, is singing.
Yeah.
So that alone is gonna set me apart from the rest because I rap. I don't sing. You know. And then the sound of the music, the beats, the production is also
You
gonna
do
set
it.
me apart too.
You could do a collaboration with Ladipo, man.
Yeah, that would be dope actually, right? He raps too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
something
that
you'd be
dope.
down for. Something
Yeah,
like that?
100%, man. I'm open to work with. I don't have no beefs with nobody.
Yeah.
I'm open to work with
I
anybody.
mean, you're
Music-
you're a unique artist because you're UK Afrobeat, Afro dance.
Yeah.
Whereas they're all in Africa
Yeah,
doing their thing, and
Yeah.
they, from what I know, from what we talked on interviews, they collaborate, man.
yeah.
Big time.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
no, like,
100%.
But you're the UK boy, so you know there's that kind of,
yeah.
you know what I mean, that hip hop vibe. So the collaboration,
I'm
you're
open
open.
to collaborate with anybody. Like whatever's best for the music. Yeah, I never turn my back on the music. So if it makes sense, if the music says yes, then I'll collaborate with anybody. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
word.
could be the biggest artist or the up and coming artist or the underdog guy. If the music makes sense, we're gonna make music. Yeah.
Yeah. That's an important skill to have, man. Not everyone has that. They always
Yeah.
want to get to the bigger and better things.
Nah, the music, man. Let the music speak first.
With momentum in your career, do you ever feel like, you know, you need to be making hits on hits, or do you just, how attached are you to the process of making music? Like, is that your whole, is that your purpose? What is your purpose, man? Like here on earth, man?
My purpose, I feel like, is to make music that's gonna make people happy and, you know, take away their problems at that moment when they're listening to my music. Just to make the world a happier happier place for that period of time while they're listening to my music. That's my main focus when I'm making music. Just to uplift people's energies, you know. I make dance music. My music is very uplifting. So
Yeah.
like if you're in a bad mood or if you're feeling down and you play one of my songs, you're gonna feel a bit bouncy. You're gonna want to get up. You're gonna want to dance. And that
Coming for Sunday,
that
coming for your show,
process-
bro. Your show's gonna be turned up.
you know what I'm saying?
Whoa.
And that process in itself is such a blessing because you're taking someone's mood from here to here, you know, and we know the struggles that everyone has with mental health and, you know, like things that happen in life is life. Things happen, like good things, bad things happen is the realism of life. So that's there. That's always gonna be there. And my music serves that purpose to help that, to uplift that, to take you out that zone for a few minutes while you're listening to my music. So I would say that's my main purpose. That's the most important thing to me, just to make people dance and to make people happy, like the whole world. So when you go on my Instagram page or you go on my social medias, you just see a bunch of videos of people just dancing and having a good time. It's not even about me. It's more about people like enjoying themselves and you know, just vibing to my music and my music putting a smile on people's faces. And this can be from like kids, 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds dancing to my music, to teenagers, to adults, to grandparents, parents. Like it's all on. If you go look on my page, you see it.
It's like,
All ages, all cultures, all ethnicities.
I respect that a lot because you know you're an acclaimed, I mean, artist. You've what kind of records have you sold? You've gold, silvers, gold, like
I mean, I
Big
don't know.
time.
I don't know what 40 million streams are.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't know what that is.
That's-
but, you know,
that's world class.
there's things happening. Yeah.
Right, and you're giving your music to the world.
Yeah.
Your page reflects the world. You know,
Yeah.
from all ages, all people. The way I perceive you as an artist is like you're like allowing people to just jump on with you
Yeah.
and carry that through.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. And then if you look at all of my biggest songs,
That's intense.
it's crazy because my biggest songs have also created careers for other people.
Whole careers.
Yeah. So like Coupe, for example, it became a challenge, and these 4 guys from France, they made like a challenge video, like as anyone else would, and they went viral from that challenge video, and now they have careers on. They're like Instagram influencers. They have like millions of followers from my song. Do you understand? So it doesn't just help me, but it helps others, you know. And then like my song Bolaya also birthed like there's a dancer in France that she did the challenge, and it also blew up her career. Like, and every single and every song I release that blows up, it doesn't just blow me up, but it also blows other people. It creates careers for other people. And that's a blessing, you know. That's a blessing. It's not just about me, it's about others, helping others.
And your music's positive, it's dance. You're not like encouraging, you know, violence.
Nah, I came a long way from that.
What's your view on that, man? Because like the biggest act in Australia
Yeah.
is we filmed them last week, and I'm gonna put them on the channel. And I'm putting them on the channel because this is what I do. You know, I put people, I bring them into
Give them a
TMC.
platform, yeah.
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 But then I also want to kind of dissect, like find out them as an artist, see where they're coming from, and also tell people, hey, like these guys, these drill artists are coming from different circumstances.
Yeah.
Now, you're saying everyone has an option. What's your perspective on this kind of the most popular music, almost in comparison to Afrobeat? I'll say Afrobeat is the most popular, but drill music is huge.
Yeah, you know, I'm from the UK. Drill music is the hugest in the UK. Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
What do you mean? Like
Like
the negativity, the negativity that comes from it. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
I mean, that's been happening for years. Like that's been happening from the early days of hip hop with like gangster rap, and everything has its wave, you know, like it was gangster rap first, and then you had the trap season, and now is the drill season. So this has been happening for decades. It's not a new thing. Even in the UK, like the early grime days was, there was a lot of negativity within that too, but it's just, I mean,
like that, man. Yeah, that's a good way to put it, man.
I don't think it's something you can run away from. It's like everyone loves gangster movies and like horrors and thrillers, and it's art, and with art is unfortunate, but we like to see gangster stuff and like guns,
horror movies,
guns and people dying,
Scarface,
people getting stabbed, and it's art. Like that's what entertains
war
us.
movies.
Scarface, war movies. That's the
Gladiator.
Do you know what I mean? The action movies,
Star Wars.
How much people die in action movies? If you watch one action movie, like I don't know, like
Blade,
like a Blade or Matrix or something, probably like 200 people die.
200 million
people just die like this, like
boom,
one's dead, one's dead. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's art, and that's what we like to see, and that's what we're gonna like to hear with music too. Like there's a lane for that. And if people are talking about their harsh realities, and instead of actually actively doing that on the street, they're going to the studio and delivering their message through music, and they're getting popular, and they're creating a career, and they're making money from it. I don't understand how we can have a problem with that. That's the life that they're living, and they're choosing to use music as a way out. There's some people that are living different. There's rich kids that are living a lovely life in the suburbs, and they choose music as a way to get their message out. It's not violent. They're not
bored.
drill.
They're bored.
It could be pop.
Yeah.
Or it could be, I don't know, whatever it is. Or there could be a kid growing up that they grew up in a house of love, and their way of delivering their music is by making love music. Do you understand? Like you're just gonna like speak about your circumstance. Yeah. And I feel like the positive point is that they're using the art to deliver their message instead of doing the other thing. And that's what people should focus on. If they were out there doing the other thing and killing people and stabbing people, then I would understand if you're complaining about that. It's bad. It's a bad thing to do. No one wants to harm others. But they're using their music as a way out. You can't really be mad about that,
No, I appreciate that. That I've never heard in a response like that, man. Like, but it is. It all comes down to art, and expression.
Exactly. And we are entertained, but I love drill.
Yeah.
Do you not love drill?
Bro, I
love drill.
I mean, look, honestly, there's some songs I'm taking off my playlist because it gets intense with the
But how
detail.
intense though? Is as intense as hip hop's been for years now. It's not
like Bone
any
Thugs and
worse.
Harmony.
I don't feel like it's any worse.
Tupac days.
If you're from the place that the people that are rapping are from, and you know everything that's actively happening and on the streets, then it's personal to you. Then you feel like, okay, this is a bit too violent because you know everything that's happening. But if you're not from there, it's just music that you've been listening to for decades.
I think what the main problem with the
attached to it.
Yeah.
The main, so it's different.
The main issue with what I see in the flesh with the youth is that they listen to drill and drill only, and they don't change it up. So I would say, check out an A-Star project, man. Latest EP. You know what I'm saying? Hit that up. Vibe, dance, shake it up a bit, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because what happens is you go and you have the same meal every day. Your gut, your biology and your body has to starve for that.
Yeah.
You go to Macca's every day. It's like all I want to do is eat Big Mac.
You become Macca's.
Yeah.
You become
Macca's. You already know. So I'll just say a bit of variety, man. And you're the kind of artist, man.
Yeah.
That I see, has come from that. Living UK, South London, and there's kind of
I understand it. Like,
I
fully understand it. But there's options, as I'm saying. There's options. I could have chose to continue making that music because I was doing well when I was making that music. It's not like I wasn't doing well.
You were in the studio with gigs, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
I was actually doing well. hitting all the goals I wanted to hit, and you know, like I just wanted to be known locally, and I've reached that goal.
The
I was
females
happy.
before hollering at you too like that, huh? Come on.
I was feeling like the one, but you
Yo.
know, I just didn't like, me personally, I didn't like the energy that it was bringing to my life, because I mean, like, you put out negative energy, you get negative energy back. It's just how life works. It's how the universe works. So I would like, I got to an age, I grew up, innit? Like, I grew up out of the teenage stage, and then I became an adult in my early 20s. I started to realize, I started to learn more about myself, and I started to realize the kind of person that I wanted to be. And I wanted to be someone that, you know, put positive energy out there instead of negative energy. And I just wanted to I wanted my music to put a smile on people's face, and I wanted to make music that my parents could listen to.
That's a huge one. That's a good point,
Yeah,
bro.
I want to make music that my parents can listen to, that kids can listen, my nieces and nephews can listen to, and you don't have to be like, turn that off because he's swearing on this part or he's talking about this one. No, I just wanted to make happy music for the world, to put a smile on people's face. That's what happened with me. That's what changed with me. So that's why I decided to go down this lane that I'm at now, because with doing that, since I've been doing that, I've been putting out so much positive energy, and I've been only getting positive energy back. I've done hundreds of shows all around the world. I've never seen a fight at any of my shows. I've never seen a fight. Nothing negative. Always good vibes. Always beautiful women. 80% women in the crowd. 20% men.
Come on.
Why would you not?
Look,
why would you not change?
I was watching the channel, man. A-Star is just spitting game for y'all, man. Come on.
Why would you not want to do that?
bro.
80% women in the crowd. Bye. I'm gone.
See you later.
See you later, man.
Word, man. Damn. No, I was DJing in the club, bro. I was playing that Lil Jon, man. I was playing at an Asian club. I play Asian clubs for a long time. I play Asian clubs. I play like with the WOG clubs, as they say, with the Greeks and stuff. I played the African nights. I played all those different nights. But even in an Asian night, man, because they're some of the biggest nights. These guys are ballers, yo. And they like the R&B, the hip-hop and that. And they like the Lil Jon here and there too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they like the old school hip-hop, innit?
Yeah. And I play Lil Jon, bro, and there's a fight breaking out in the Asian night, bro. I'm like, oh,
no way.
I'm like, what am I doing?
What, is that like their version?
Lil Jon, you know, Lil Jon.
Like,
nah, but Lil Jon is like, you know, like,
but it's kind of hype,
fuck
though.
the bouncers up, like up shit. They're all turning up, bro. I'm like, oh, what have I done?
Oh man.
So I think, I'm saying, it's a big experience, bro. Like, straight up, man. I didn't know you would take it that way, bro. But I appreciate it, because that's some real knowledge for you guys out there. Honestly, man. Like, you got to think about it, you know, your first choice in terms of an artist. What song are you going to put out there? Because a lot of artists in Australia, they think, I'm going to do either a hip hop song, like an Afrobeat track, or a drill song, and they're all contending with what's their first release. And I would just, as you were saying, just put out the art. You know, put out yourself, put yourself out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's not easy though, because you look, when I first started making music, I was 13, 14, and then I didn't really.
What year was that?
2005, 2006.
Yeah, there wasn't the Spotify's like that.
But
there wasn't the Snapchats.
Those days, like, you know, like when you first start making music as a kid, like depending on, because the age group we're talking about, when we talk about drill, most artists that start making drill are in their teenagers, right? So at that age right there, you're not really thinking about those things. You just want to make music that you know your friends are going to listen to.
Well, then the friends listen to it, and then the real drillers, the real gangsters are listening and watching. And
yeah,
I have no issue with what their lives, man.
Yeah,
it's a whole different thing, and there's respect to that. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole different thing. But I see the kids that aren't about that life, man, and then if they decide to choose to make that their first song, I've got 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds, 15-year-olds in the studio with me sometimes, up to 22-year-olds, and they're thinking, do I make my first song a drill song or whatever? And I go, as you said, the energy you put out is the energy you get back.
True.
And
it's better you know that from young, to be honest. I didn't learn that until I was a bit older, but if someone could have told me that when I was younger.
And
I
now
would've
we're
took
in
it on.
2023.
Yeah.
Screenshots for days.
But so what do you feel like if they decide to make drill, what do you feel like that's doing to their life? Because I feel like there's a lot of also good drill examples. I think people paint drill like it's just a negative thing, but there's also artists that are doing drill in a positive light and they're really successful with it.
100%. Drill beats fine.
100%
Drill beats fine. Everything. It's just, I feel like
what they're talking about.
What happens is they'll What happens is they'll do a song. They won't even record the song, but someone will Snapchat them for like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And they done a drill song talking about, I'm going to do this and I'm a chef. They don't say Sheffield, but they say all sorts of different things, right? Whatever. It's all, and then someone will screenshot that and go, oh, I remember you saying this, and press them later on.
In real life.
Yeah. And it's that quick.
Yeah.
It's that instant now. It's instant.
It's tricky, man. It's tricky. When I first started making hip hop, when I first started rapping,
you were using Cubase.
Yeah, but I was doing gangster rap. So in those days, it would be the equivalent of drill. And I was almost ending up in situations like that too. So I get it, like I actually get it. But when you're that age, you just want to make music that your friends are going to listen to, that your friends are going to be like, yo, you're hard, you're dope. Like, yeah, I want to listen to this. You don't want to make, like, if you come from the hood and like, your friends are like boys from the hood, you don't want to make sweet boy music because you know your friends are not going to listen to that. You want to make music that you know your friends, if your friends are listening to drill rappers, I want to make drill too so my friends can say I'm hard. It's as simple as that.
Do you know what's crazy though? They make the drill songs and these guys that I work with, they make the drill songs. They're in and out of the jails, everything, right? They make the drill tunes and they also make the lover boy tunes.
Okay, that's good. They have a balance.
Bro, those tunes are crazy. Like,
they have a balance then. That's good.
I gotta show you after this pod, bro. Like, there's some tunes that they make, and I'm like, these are hits.
Yeah, and
it's like they're taking the pain and they're creating something for themselves, man.
That's dope.
It's special, man. It's evolving in real time here, man. So having you here, man, it's a blessing, man. Honestly, having an artist on your level, bro, like really. To just be here, to link up with the dancers, Bad Girl Daphne, like to show that love.
Yeah.
We in Australia really appreciate that, man.
100%, man.
You already know, man.
100%.
So yeah, man. I guess, until next time, my G.
I didn't realize we're going to have a drill conversation, bro. I didn't anticipate this. I thought we were going to talk about Afrobeats. We end up talking about drill for like half an hour. But it's good because like, at least people know where I come from, Like, well, it's not just Afrobeats in my world. Like, I come from, places where I understand that. I understand drill and all of these things that are happening in certain environments too. It's not all happy. Dance,
I just came. That's where I came, just from there, bro.
From where?
From the studios, where there was 2 days ago. There was.
Oh no way! You see what's happening right now in Australia? This is what was happening when I first started rapping as a kid. In London. It's like you guys are just catching this wave now.
That's why we're trying to flip it.
Now London's changed. Now like you have artists that are fully established, hitting the top of the charts, like just blowing worldwide.
And
yeah, do you know what I'm saying? Like people are like that side of it is done in London now. Well, it's not done, but like it's not as bad as before. So I feel like you guys are just going through that early stage, but just give it a few years. You're going to see like all of these, there's going to be artists that come through and become really successful through drill. And it's not just negative. And then you're going to have the young kids that are going to want to do drill in that same way, which is not just negative.
Afro drill.
You know what I'm saying? I've never liked the concept of Afro drill, by the way.
But the beats are hard on YouTube, bro. Like some of them sound different.
I've never liked the concept. It's just I don't know.
Some guy did
funny.
He did like a remake and was like he did an amapiano drill thing and it was like, yo, like this is forced.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is 100%. Forced. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Nah, hey, yo, man. Like honestly, bro. Like I don't know, bro. Like you've been to Australia once before, man. I hope to see you again, man. Honestly.
100%, bro, man. It was nice to meet you as well, man. I love your vibe, bro, and I love this studio. I actually want to make a few like tracks before I leave here, so I might have to come back here, bro.
Yeah, man, 100%, bro. We'll make it happen.
P Diddy, Puff Daddy.
This is the man.
Yo, that's what I call him, Puff Daddy.
He's like And not the P, it's the Puff.
Puff Daddy, the old school one.
God,
He's the
man.
Puff Daddy of Australia, bro.
You heard the shit in the video of your song, the main thing.
Come alive, man. All right, cool. I
Oh,
got
bless
you,
us,
bro.
man.
100%.
It's been another one for the road, man. And this
Yeah.
is A-Star, man.
Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
No, big us, man. Appreciate you, my guy.
Come alive. I'm kind of drunk now, by the way.
Yeah, same. Just hit me. I didn't drink, bro. Let's go. Yo.
I'm kind of drunk. Yes.